Hello everyone. Ever wonder why Japanese daily life feels so efficient? It is not magic. It is Kaizen, the art of continuous improvement. Today I have used AI to synthesize the best Japanese life hacks that prove small changes can create massive results. Let's dive in.
You ever feel like you're just looking for a blueprint? A real guide for a better, more meaningful life? Well, it turns out there might just be one, hidden in a set of really powerful ancient Japanese philosophies. So today, we're going to explore that blueprint. We're going to build a clear framework for living with way more purpose, health, and focus. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start on the island of Okinawa in Japan. The average woman there lives to be over 87 years old. Now, to put that in perspective, that's almost a full decade longer than the average American woman. And on top of that, they have lower rates of heart disease, cancer, you name it. This isn't just a number on a chart. It's a huge question. What is their secret? To figure that out, we're going to build our own blueprint, piece by piece. We'll kick things off with that Okinawan secret, ikigai. Then we'll connect that to our mind, body, and nature. From there, we'll look at the purity of the space around us, and finally, the art of improvement in everything we do. It's a journey that starts from the inside and works its way out. All right, so the very foundation of this entire blueprint, the absolute core, is a concept the Japanese call ikigai. Think of this as your personal North Star. It's the why that actually gets you excited to get out of bed in the morning. So, what is ikigai? Well, it literally translates to a reason for being. And it's not just a hobby and it's not just a job. It's that sweet spot, that perfect intersection of what you love to do, what you're really good at, what the world actually needs, and yeah, what you can be paid for. This is why in Okinawa, the whole idea of retirement as we know it, it doesn't really exist. People stay active and totally engaged in their purpose for their entire lives. And this is where it gets really cool, seeing how these four elements come together. Just think of the legendary animator Hayao Miyazaki. Back in 2013, he tried to retire. Big announcement and everything. And guess what? He showed up at his studio the very next day to keep drawing. The man just can't stop. He found that perfect crossroads of what he loves, what he's an absolute master at, what the world can't get enough of, and what he can be paid for. That, right there, is pure ikigai. Okay, so once you've got your why, the next layer is the how. How do you sustain the energy to actually pursue that purpose? And this brings us to some amazing practices that connect our mind, our body, and the natural world around us. And the first one is this incredible practice called Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. Now, this isn't about getting your heart rate up or going for a strenuous hike. No, it's the simple, mindful act of just being in nature and connecting with it through all five of your senses: what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're smelling. Now, you might be thinking, okay, a nice walk in the woods, that's relaxing. But it is so much more than that. Modern science is now proving what the Japanese have known for a long, long time, that spending time in a forest has a direct, measurable, and really powerful impact on our physical health. Okay, get this. One key study found that after a forest bathing trip, participants' natural killer cell activity shot up by a staggering 53.2%. I mean, we're not talking about small little gains here. This is a massive boost to a critical part of your immune system. And here's why that number is such a big deal. These natural killer cells, or NK cells, they're your body's frontline defense. They're the ones that go out and destroy virus-infected cells and even tumors. So yeah, a simple walk in the woods could literally be strengthening your body's ability to fight off serious diseases. So you've got the mental side, and then there's a physical one to match: hara hachibu. It's a simple discipline. Just stop eating when you feel about 80% full. This little practice of mindful eating might be a huge reason why Japan has an obesity rate of only 4%, while in the US it's 40%. It's a small change with a profound, profound impact. All right, so we've got our inner purpose dialed in, we've looked at our physical body, now we move outwards again, to our immediate environment, the space we actually live and work in. So in Japan, they have this word, kiyomeru, which means to purify. This isn't about chores, it's seen as a spiritual practice. Tidying your space is about clearing away both the physical and the mental junk. There's this deeply held belief that a clean, organized home is a direct reflection of a clear, uncluttered mind. And the cool thing is, there's actually a system you can use for this called the 5S framework. It's a super methodical approach. First, you sort what you need from what you don't. Then, you set everything in its proper place. Next, you shine and clean the space. Then, you standardize the whole process so it's easy to repeat. And finally, you sustain the practice so you can maintain that sense of harmony. It's a really concrete way to bring that idea of Kyomaru into your own life. And that brings us to the final layer of our blueprint, how we apply this whole mindful approach to our work, to our skills, and to what we contribute to the world. Here, we run into two really powerful but different ideas. On one side, you've got Kaizen. This is the philosophy of continuous, small, incremental improvements. It's all about the team, it's focused on the process, it's what companies like Toyota are famous for. But then on the other side, you have Kodawari, and this is a deeply personal, almost obsessive pursuit of perfection in your own craft. It's all about individual mastery. And this quote just nails the feeling of Kodawari. See, the reward isn't someone else patting you on the back. It's the deep internal satisfaction you get from knowing that you gave it your absolute all, right down to the tiniest detail. It's about setting your own ridiculously high standards and meeting them. And if you want a perfect picture of this, just think of the legendary sushi master Jiro Ono. The man is in his 90s. He's been called the world's greatest sushi chef for decades, and he still goes to work every single day, relentlessly trying to get better. That deep, personal, lifelong dedication to your craft, that is the very soul of Kodawari. All right, we've gone on this whole journey, from our deepest inner purpose all the way out to our daily work. So let's just step back for a second and see how all these pieces click together to form this amazing blueprint for a more mindful life. You see how it all connects, right? It's this beautiful, logical flow. You start with your why, finding your ikigai. Then you nurture your mind and body to support that purpose. You master your environment to create mental clarity. And then you apply that mindset of constant improvement to your craft. Each concept builds on the last, creating this complete, holistic system for living. Look, the point isn't to go out and do all of this overnight. It's about recognizing the power that's packed into each one of these ideas. So I'll leave you with this question. Which one of these principles really speaks to you? Which one small change could you make starting today to begin building your own mindful blueprint?